Hello, Hope, and welcome to another conversation with Crossley, a courageous conversation with Crossley. We have two wonderful employees with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Laura Gray, and I teach at Clinton Primary School.
I'm Pam Stone, and I'm assistant principal at Clinton Primary School.
All right, so before we jump into this whole conversation, tell us a little bit about your educational journey. How did you get into education?
Oh, my God. Okay, so my journey began when I was working for a doctor. I was in school, and my major was Spanish, and my minor was social work. And in that journey, my professor said, Laurita, you need to be a teacher. And I was like, no, not me.
You got the wrong person.
Wrong person. And she was like, no, Laurita, the kids need you. Uh-huh. And so when I first started, I started as just an interventionist working with kids through the migrant program. I would come to the school and work with the kids. And I heard about a program, so I went to the lady that was in charge. I said, hey, I heard I can become a teacher because I already have a degree. And she was like, yeah, you can do non-traditional. And that summer, I started the non-traditional program. I kept doing my tutoring, and then Mr. Moser said, hey, I heard you were non-traditional. I said, yes, sir. He said, you need a job? And I was like, yeah, I need a job. But it kept taking so long, I was like, I'm just going to go to stamps. And Mr. Moser said, you're not going anywhere. Anyway.
Now he did this.
Yeah, yes. You just wasted yourself. So that, I went and I finished the program, and then I went on to the ESL Academy, and that's what really landed me where I am now,
So would you say your passion is ESL?
Oh, my God. Honestly, my passion is children. I'm just fortunate enough to be working with a group of ESL kids.
I am better just by being around you. Thank you.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
Everybody
are
is.
So Miss Stone, you're the assistant principal here.
I am.
So talk about your educational journey.
Oh, gracious. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher.
You did?
I did. Back from when I was little, and my sister and I would go play with kids. She would make me be the student. And I was like, no, I want to be the teacher. I didn't really know how bossy I was at the time. When you have an older sibling, you're not really the bossy. But then I had an accounting class in high school, so I thought, no, I'm going to be an accountant. I took one accounting class in college at Texarkana College, and I was like, no, not doing it. Not doing accounting. And anyway, so then I was like, no, I'm going to be a teacher. I'd always wanted to be a teacher. Went to Henderson State, or transferred to Henderson State University. Go Rays. And was in the teacher's college there. It was a fantastic experience. Wow. And then got my first job. I did a 1-year sub job in Hope. Did most of my time long term with Larry Muldrew, and I hate that I missed that. But with Larry Muldrew at Yarger, taught there and then he hired me the next year to teach 8th grade math. Taught there for 10 years. Wow. I loved being a middle school math teacher. Yeah, they were I taught her son.
She did.
He was one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, but they used to tell me he's just like his mom, and I didn't know his mom then. But
was that accurate?
It was accurate.
Yeah.
It was accurate. He's a fantastic kid. He's still a kid.
Yeah.
But
30 years old.
Anyway, and so that middle schoolers are awesome people. Awesome. And anyway, and then I went to Texas A&M to be a principal.
Yep. And
got my degree and got hired here. Larry Muldrew told me, he said, no, Pam, if you're going to be a principal, you have to have tough skin. And I will say he was correct. And it's gotten a lot tougher in the last 14 years. So I've been over here for 14 years. So kids are my passion.
I'm glad you brought that up. So you two are great subjects to have this conversation because one is an administrator, one is a classroom teacher that potentially has aspirations for administration. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the dynamic between teacher and administrator, and especially on this campus. So I'm an administrator, and I subbed Friday, and I'll be subbing again today, actually, in 3rd grade. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, by the way, today you will have egg hatching units in your classroom when you sub. They are putting them in there as we speak.
Oh my goodness. You're setting the bar really high. We'll see how this goes.
Please don't kill the eggs.
No promises here. No promises. But is it easy for you two to see the role of the other and appreciate the role of the other? Because I love the job of subbing and just being close to the classroom because I love teaching and learning. Yeah. Like I love it. Yeah. But I never want to forget what it's like to be a teacher in that classroom.
That's what I always have.
So talk about that. Talk about the dynamic.
Well, when when you have administrators that you respect, to me, it makes it easy for that dynamic to be smooth sailing. You always have to. I have the utmost respect for all of our administrators, starting with our principals. There's nothing I can't talk to her about. I know she's my boss, and I respect her at that, so that we can have our conversations, on another level.
Sure.
But at the same time, anything she asks of me to do, I'm gonna do it. She's my boss, and I respect her enough for her not to have to get on to me. And I've always said, if you respect the people you work for, the people that respect you the most are the people you least have to worry about.
So you're able to put yourself in
I can
Ms.
put
Dawn's
myself
shoes.
in her shoe, and she puts her stuff in mine, even in our conversations sometimes, because I know she has that experience of having been in the classroom and having those. She had my own kid,
Sure.
So not much. No, he was a good kid.
He was awesome.
But even the way that she dealt with my son at the time, because he was going through a lot, I know, Lord Jesus,
Don't make me cry.
I know that there's something special about her when it comes to our children, and I see it play out with the different children that she works with every day. So
I don't cry, Lauren. You're making me cry.
We'll talk about it then. So, how are you able to put yourself in the role of teacher, and how does that play out for you as a leader?
Well, I've come to realize in the last probably 4 or 5 years. I guess I don't know why I didn't realize it before. Kids are my calling. Like everything I do in my life is all revolving around kids. Church, home, school.
Sure.
And when I became an administrator, I said I do not ever want to forget what it's like to be in the trenches. Now, granted, I didn't teach elementary kids. I have an elementary certification, but my first job was middle school. But kids are kids. You have to meet kids where they are. We cannot teach kids if they don't first know that we love and respect them. And no kid ever has to earn my respect. I am going to respect and love you no matter what. I told a child last week, I said, we were in a conference, I said, listen, nothing you do to me, and he's a pretty tough kid, nothing you do to me is going to cause me not to love you. You can hit me, spit on me, you can call me names, you can hug me, whatever. I'm going to love you no matter what.
That's right.
And that boy came up to me this morning and gave me the biggest hug.
Oh God.
And he'll get upset and he'll just ask to come up here and he'll just sit. Awesome. We don't have to talk. And that's what I want kids to. That's how I was in the classroom. You could just come and talk to me and sit and bend. I'm that person. And so, but my thing is I never wanted to forget how stressful it is in the classroom. I know my teachers have so much on them. I tried not to put more on them than I have to. That's why my secretary is the best. Oh my gosh. She knows what I need before I know I need it. I'm telling you. And so she does a lot for the teachers. And the teachers are like, well, I could do that. I was like, no, you can.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
That's awesome.
And so and when they come in here with problems, first thing I try to do is just listen. Sometimes I'm like, you just need a break.
Yeah. And that's important. That's so important.
They're like,
when we come from there to here, sometimes we just need to de-escalate.
Yes.
And sitting and talking with the person that's really calm, a person that, just listen. Sometimes she may not tell you anything, but she listens. And so I'm pulling from her. When we look at our character, we pull from so many different places, different things from different people. And from her, I pull from that. No matter what's going on, I can breathe. It's okay. It is all right. And I pull that from her.
So there's so many wonderful topics that are springing up in this. So I'm going to try to hit two and then end with a question just about the good, bad, ugly of the school system and how you see us going forward in Hope as a community. But you both talked about love. And something people don't all see in you all the time is just how much of a softie you really are. You love teachers and you love kids, and it comes through. It comes through. So talk about what factor love is in your educational leadership and in your role as an educator.
If I don't have love, then I don't need to be here. I mean, totally agree. I can see the love that Miss Gray has for her kids. And anytime any of her kids come in here, or even kids I know she knows well, I call her. I'm like, listen, I got this going on. I know you have a good report to parent. Can you help me? And she's right up here to help me. Because she loves her kids.
One of our toughest that comes in. And I'll come in with him, and it doesn't matter, like she said, doesn't matter what he's done, but the first thing I say is, tell me the truth. What comes out of his mouth.
The truth.
Because he knows that I love him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they say kids won't care how much you know it till they know how much you care.
Mm-hmm.
I live on that every
It's so
day.
true, isn't it?
Every day.
It's so true.
Now, that does not mean that I don't have to say, here's your consequence.
Mm-hmm.
You did this, there's a consequence. But in the midst of you going through, it's just like when we have joy going through our trials.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we go through the trials.
We had trials.
Oh, we're going to go through some trials. But it's that joy that's innate within you that no one can take out. That's the love that we show to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, I love you. I'm going to love you.
And
that
if
shows.
we don't love them, I don't care how many times I tell them. If I
matter.
don't show them love,
Yeah.
you can forget it's not going to do
Exactly.
anything.
And-
I had a...
Go ahead.
I don't remember who it was. It was somebody in the community called me. She's like, "Pam, I have to tell you the story." I said, "Okay." It was a couple years ago. She's like, and I can't remember this boy's name. She ended up remembering it. We talked about it. But she's like, he was like 17, 18 at the time. I had him out here.
Mm-hmm.
She said, he told me that he got in trouble all the time at the primary school. But he remembers you, and you made, and I'm not here to put myself on a thing, but
it's your journey, it's your story.
Yeah.
He said that he knew he could come to you whether he was in trouble or not, and you would listen to him because he had a hard life. And you're the only one he talked about from the primary school. And here I am going, I'm just the principal.
Sure.
There's teachers that impact him, that it was with him every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I wasn't that harsh judge coming down on him, I did have to give him consequences.
Oh, yeah. But that's
The
what you do when you love
kids
people.
remember that.
As parents, we have to give our kids consequences because we love them. So
Yes.
our kids get a chance. That's what I was going to say. That speaks to itself where we have children that come back after they're grown and have children. They walk into the building and go, oh, my God. You know, it's not something you have to go out and sell to anyone because it's genuine. So, and when a kid knows it's genuine, it doesn't matter all of the chaos that they go on in their lives. They know that they have that person that genuinely loves them and does not judge them for what they do that is not correct, but will try to help them to correct it along the way.
And a lot of times they show out here or do those is because one thing I do remember from the Ruby Pain training is when kids feel safe, their walls come down. And so you're going to see the truth. They're going to just let loose. They're going to show you that anger. They're going to show you that whatever. I had a student in here crying a while ago because he got in trouble in the classroom in an activity class. He's like, but Miss Stone, I didn't sleep last night. And he was telling me why he didn't sleep.
Yes.
And tears were coming down. And I was like, you know what, baby? Just sit right there for a minute. And then we talked about him going back to class and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I could have written him the right act. I could have suspended him. I could have called his mom, whatever. But the baby was tired.
Yes. And his why was important to him.
Yeah.
And help you not focused on his why and said, it's okay. It would have escalated throughout the day.
And he was like, I just wanted peace and quiet. And those kids were coughing on purpose. And I don't want to get COVID. And had all this going through his mind. And we don't always stop and think about that.
That's
These
right.
kids have real deep issues that they need taken care of.
So let's go one step further then. So we've talked about communication and relationship and love and how important all those things are. When you love someone, you hold them accountable in the classroom, et cetera, et cetera. Let's talk about our school district and our community. So what is the good, bad, and the ugly of kind of where we are as a system and our community and how we make it too generational? So I truly believe that in order to have a thriving community, you have to have a thriving school system, and we have to reach out to parents and make it too generational. So, my long-term vision would be to have parents receiving educational services, job services, just like kids would be receiving that before they graduate, because it's so transformative if parents can have advancement as well. That being said, what's your take?
I think the ugly for me, I won't start with the ugly because I always want to end on the
And on the good.
Yes, she does.
The ugly for me is when you hear the negative coming from within our schools. And it goes out into the community.
Sure.
And the community is going to jump on the first thing they hear. If it's good, they'll jump on it. If it's bad, they're going to jump on it. And so then you lose your stakeholders. You lose those people that we need to buy in into making our schools a better place. Because believe it or not, it goes from parents to children. And we have had children say, my mama said. And that in itself puts a crack in our big ball. It's a big ball. It goes round and round. It goes in every direction. I forgot what that thing's called. But if we have a crack, if we're here, then we have parents and business owners, and we have a crack right here, right above us. What's going to happen? It's going to trickle down. It's going to trickle down. But then when we have people here with us who are putting it out there, you're putting it out there. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. Because once you tell me that she's a terrible principal, I'm going to tell my friend, I'm going to tell my other friend, I'm going to tell my other friend. If you tell them this is the worst school district in Arkansas, we're going to tell everybody even gets outside of our
That's
district.
going to get faster than any good news.
Anything. Bad news travels at the speed of sound, where good news, you just have to trickle it out, in a video or...
I mean, that's real.
I mean, that's it.
That's real.
I'm telling you,
and it's the stories we tell about ourselves. Even if it's not about us directly, it's about where we work or our system or our classroom or whatever. And then that momentum, the negative momentum, picks up at that point.
It hurt me that someone said they went to another school district and they said, "You work at Hope." That hurt. That generally hurt me
for the last 24 years.
See, that
and when I worked at Yerker, people were like, "You work at Yerker?" I'm like, "Yes," and I loved it. I love it. And when they found out I'm a principal at Hope, oh gosh, I'm like, y'all don't understand. Come out here. We have the best kids ever. Are you kidding? We have fabulous teachers. We have fabulous kids. Is everybody perfect? No. None of us are.
Find a school district that is.
Exactly.
Or a school that is. Or a classroom that is.
That's true.
You won't find a superintendent.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what. Hey, I make tons of mistakes. I'll be the first one to tell you. And so will 200 and how many ever.
So will the next one. So that's
friend of mine that I've known since I started teaching here. Her grandkids were going to a different school district, close. And I was like, look, there was issues. I said, hey, just give us a chance. Bring them here, give us a chance. Well, she brought her kids are here, and they are thriving.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're loving it. She's like, bam, why didn't I do this before? I was like, I don't know, why didn't you? You know?
So you're naturally hitting on it, but do you have something that's kind of the good part of kind of what you're thinking?
Yes. I always have
What's
some
that?
good.
She always has
always some good. Our students. I just can't talk much about too much about our students. Even if our students don't make all A's, our students grow. Our students want to be here. Our students want to learn. And even if there's someone who's disturbing the class, they'll say, well, I couldn't learn because, or I couldn't do this because, but then we have to be careful how we address that also. But I think that we're going in the right direction. I love that you brought all of Hope together. That was like so powerful to be able to speak to people. And then they say, oh, that was great. We're going to do it again. Yeah.
Back to
school.
Hey, there were people there.
That was the first time.
I know. Yeah, I saw that.
They don't even go. But they were so excited about being there. And
it felt more like a community.
It felt and I think if we can get back to that, that's my positive. We're going this way. We may be just, I'm not touching her, but we're about to touch it. You know? But if we keep working in that direction, that's going to be our positive. Because when we come together and we get our parents together and our community leaders together, our kids together, we're going to be.
Hey, I tell everybody that I see we're heading in the direction to be the premier school district in Southwest Arkansas. Period. Like,
I think you hit it when you mentioned parent education, because so many. I've been here 24 years. I'm old, but I see so many of my former students who have kids here. So I walk around going, "I taught your mama and your mama," and they're like, "What about mine?" I'm like, "Oh." Anyway, and a lot of them had kids when they're young.
Sure.
They were young. So when that happens, they don't automatically know how. I mean, being a parent doesn't automatically come natural.
Exactly.
I mean, I was 32 and I had my first child. I could not have done it in my 20s. I don't think I would have been mature enough. So they have these babies and they love STEM.
Yes.
They're doing the best they know how. But I think we need to educate them in how that could be even better. And then when they get in trouble or they're having trouble with their education, they don't know what services are there to help them. Yes. They want their child to do better.
Absolutely.
You know, they want their children to succeed, but they don't know how to get that help.
So we're leaning into that with the magnet grant, with home to school advisors and having additional social workers to assist. And I think it's spot on. I mean, it's that parent academy piece, that parent support.
Yes. They really need our support. And parents don't need to come in here and feel like I'm judging them.
Exactly.
For whatever reason.
That's true.
So that was kind of the need component, like what you think we need. Is there something that you just think we're knocking it out of the park on, or something that you're excited about, or something to that effect?
There's just a good feeling. The all-in is great.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that has brought us as a district together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common theme around everybody being all in. We're celebrating kids. We're celebrating what's going on in the classrooms. And the teachers, and we try to remind them, they are the number one person in their kids' lives.
They carry it out. They carry out 8 hours a day.
At the beginning of I wish I had one in here. At the beginning of the year, I gave all my third and fourth grade teachers a little puzzle piece that I had put on there. I can't remember the exact quote, but basically, they're the most important piece in their students' lives.
Sure.
Their students' puzzle. I mean, I want them to remember that.
Yeah.
Because I totally, I see how teachers affect my own personal kids.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be that for my kids that I taught in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that I am. I hope that I was.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be that for my kids here.
Sure.
And yes, teachers, I love teachers. I want to help teachers. I don't want to judge teachers. They say they're intimidated when I go in their classroom. I'm the least intimidated person that I know. But I want to help them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help everybody. But kids are my calling. I don't remember where I was going with all this.
That's okay. That's
But,
passion speaking.
No, that's good. No, you were going towards kids being the most
But
important.
we are celebrating
piece.
kids. That's it.
Exactly.
That's what I think we're doing good and hope is we're getting the kids out there. We're celebrating the kids. Our band is doing some great things.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And we're getting that out there. And I
Mhm.
think that is probably one of the things we're doing the best is getting that good news out there.
And I think we're making us as educators think about what part we're playing in our students' lives. Like, before the school year started, I said, I'm going to basketball games. I'm going to tennis games. I'm going to football
I've
games.
seen you there.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Because I
We
don't
have
know.
a
I just
34th
thought
grade
about it.
championship game next Saturday, and
I'll
a
be
lot of
there.
the third grade teachers were going.
Okay, see, that's all. And I think that when those students see us out there,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh my God, they really do care.
Mhm.
I mean, when you call their name, they go like, oh, that was great. Hey, you know, and so if we can make them know that, like, we go back to love, that you can't get around it.
Yeah.
That's something that we're doing good. I see more people out supporting our children now. Even business owners. I see business owners out supporting our children. So the community as a whole that's the most positive for me.
Yeah.
I'm just excited about it.
I want that love because I feel it. Like last year was my first year here, and this year I'm feeling and hearing people talk about love and all of that. I want that to translate to belief in kids.
That's it.
Like I want us to love where we work, love each other, and truly believe that all kids can learn.
I get asked the
Absolutely.
question so often.
Yeah.
Why are you still in Hope? Why have you been in Hope 24 years? You know why? Because these kids in these hallways, they need me. They need somebody who's going to come to work every day to fight for them.
Yeah.
I may make the wrong decision 25 times out of 26 a day.
I've been there.
But
that
you know
one
what?
time that you made the right decision.
Hey, you did it.
That one
You did
time.
that one time though.
But the decisions I'm making are what I feel is best at
It's
the
what's
time.
best
Whether you
for
think it's right or
our
wrong.
kids.
Yeah.
You know, I also think that growing our leaders within our district, I think
That is good.
That's good. It gives all of us, because it's a sense of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we own this. I purchased a home and hope this is my home now.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm feeling
It's
that
for the kids.
sense of
The
ownership.
kids need
And
us.
when Dr. McCorley told me that, I didn't have any idea what she was talking about. But God said, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send you.
I heard Dr. Meredith,
He sent me because I was no plan to be here, but this is where I am.
Listen, I was at a
With a
conference
purpose.
with a solicitor conference, and Mattis was talking. I'm sorry, I say his name, whatever. But he said, you know what? There's kids in this world who are gonna learn despite anybody. They're those third
That's
base
right.
kids.
That's
They're
right.
starting on third base. They only have a little
Yes,
way to go before they
absolutely.
reach home.
Absolutely.
We don't have rooms full of third base kids.
Absolutely.
I'm here for those kids who are still in the dugout who
Yes,
haven't even gotten up to the
haven't
yet.
gotten in the game yet.
Mhm.
They said,
And
put
that's-
me in, coach.
And that's
That's
Get
right.
on in there.
Yeah.
these kids.
You
are
might strike out, but you get in there.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to strike out every time.
Yeah.
No.
You know, because I'm going to teach you how to see the ball coming.
Mhm.
I'm going to teach you how to get your body right,
Mm-hmm.
be in the right position, put that leg out,
Mhm.
and you just, if you have to close your eyes and swing, you just swing. Swing till you hit something.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you guys have been great in this interview today, to be honest with you. But I like to end it with anything that you want to tell the community. So anybody that watches this, whether it's a community member, a student, a teacher, a staff member, whoever, anything that you'd like to express just about Hope or Hope Public Schools or your perspective.
I just want to say, listen, Hope Schools is awesome. Hope Schools is filled with fantastic kids. fantastic teachers. I don't care what standardized tests say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anything says. We have great kids. We have kids who want to learn. We have great teachers. And I just look forward to seeing what the year comes, what the years bring, because I think I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
That's a good point to leave on. Well, I just want to say that our district is resilient. That's the word that I would use. We are resilient. There's times that we were all knocked down with COVID and everything, but our community is pulling up its bootstraps, as we're pulling up our bootstraps. We may have to tread through some foggy bottom for a while, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Believe in us. We believe in us. We trust you. Trust us. And our kids are going to be better than they've ever been.
You hear that, Hope? Believe. We got to believe in each other, believe in our kids. These are two great educators that exemplify that every single day.
And
ladies.
hopefully one day I'll get to work next to her.
That's it. That's it. Got an administrator and aspiring administrator as well. This is another episode of Courageous Conversations with Crossley. We'll see you next time.